today's topics. One's a pretty obvious one. Brandon Aiyuk continues his social media tirade. Everything wrong was going on there. And the 49ers just on Monday signed potentially their most impactful rookie. And I'll get to that in a moment's time. But got to start off with the obvious, right? And that's with Brandon Aiyuk. So much is wrong with the situation, from whether the 49ers had some fingerprints to do with this, and then obviously majority of it is Aiyuk's fault on his own. I've said before that the 49ers a long time ago, starting in March when the league year started, that they should have just cut bait with him. Like, just get rid of him. I'm a big proponent of when you have someone you dislike or hate or toxic, just cut bait. What are you accomplishing by holding on to them? There is no precedent being set. All it does is create this unnecessary moronic topics of now we're going on 4 months of this, when you could have just cut bait with him a long time ago, because that is what you said back in November, December. Instead, you kind of have this weird delusional hope that you're going to trade him, and that didn't go anywhere. It wasn't even 1% close to happening. And so now you have a situation where Aiyuk goes from silent for months to, once June breaks, he breaks his silence on social media. And that's where he starts going on these social media tirades, rampage, antics, starting off by taking shots at the 49ers, which, first of all, is kind of funny because it's like, where have you been, bro? Like, all of a sudden, you're just going to start taking shots at the team? Like, all right, like, this is a hell of a start. But then he does it again and again and again. And then he starts conducting himself like he's signed to the Washington Commanders already. So now you start reaching a point of, okay, this guy is off his rocker a little bit, because what on earth, like, is he okay? Like what kind of world is he living in? And that's where it's always hilarious to me, because Aiyuk had the whole time, he could have had not everyone, but he could have had a segment of people on his side. And he did for a while, it seemed like. I never was on his side, even though I've been a steadfast advocate that the 49ers should have cut him. But that's because this topic should have never gone this far. He shouldn't have been linked to the 49ers this long. He could have been the Commanders' problem, whoever's problem. This thing is, his issue was, as he should have just, from the moment his social media rampage started, or not even before, the moment he broke his silence, what should have done is he should have gave his side. Tell us what is wrong. And even though he did that recently, it wasn't the most insightful or like something that would actually justify him in going AWOL on the 49ers and taking all these crazy shots, even though there was a time over a year ago where the 49ers were leaking through reports through Adam Schefter, through Tim Kawakami, where the Niners hated that contract and they would love to get rid of him. So I feel him on that. I feel his frustration. I feel his annoyance. No one likes getting, their name slandered and just continually just sneaking behind, just throwing dirt on your name. Like, hey, we don't like this contract. We wish we regret it, all this stuff. So I get that portion, but he just still should have just took it that way, kept that video of giving your side and just working out and just keeping, just whatever. It's just like, hey, the Niners are going to do this. I'm screwed, but guess what? I'm going to show up to training camp, or I'm going to show up to OTAs, which he should have. And now you're in the situation where you've gone so wrong about this, because now you have a discography of videos, some of them deleted now, where you're just taking shots at the 49ers. You're acting like you're already signed the Commanders. And now we've gotten to a point where you're taking not subtle, but you're kind of taking shots now at your potentially future starting quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And you guys are kind of having this immature war of words cryptically through social media. Like, this is ridiculous now. We've lost the plot, ladies and gentlemen. We've lost the plot. This is just insane to me. And this just didn't have to go this far, because the Niners could just been cut him bait. And I'm pretty sure this is what incited him to do it, because now he's like, you know what? I'm stuck here. I'm in this. He kind of feels like he's almost in this prison where he's going stir crazy. Just imagine it's like a beautiful day outside. You're stuck all week, and it's like, I told myself I wasn't going to go out, but I want to take a break. But, this weather, people going out, like, I can't stay inside. I'm getting crazy. So now he's lashing out through these weird antics he's going on because they're not accomplishing anything. He's not accomplishing anything. All he's doing is strengthening all the negativity towards him, and it's gotten to the point where now the fact that you are taking these shots at Jaden Daniels, if it wasn't an idea before, it certainly is now, that there's no guarantee that if the 49ers release you right now, that the Commanders are going to sign you. Like, this guy is tripping. Like, like, Brandon, what are you doing? The whole idea is to just put people on your side to make the 49ers look like the enemy, because now, even though the Niners, no matter what, the Niners were always going to look justified to a degree, even against people who were on Aiyuk's side. But now you just really, who's on your side now? It's probably not the quarterback. I know I've seen suggestions saying that Jaden Daniels and Brandon Aiyuk are trolling everyone, but it's a little too weird to be taking it that far. Was that even necessary? Like, what is that even gonna prove right, succeed, or what is it gonna do? What's the benefit of that? I think this is who Aiyuk is, and I've written it before. Shout out 49ers on SI. Check out the articles. That he loves the attention. He's seeking the attention. He's no better than the majority of people who love to post on their Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, and just look for attention because he knows people are talking, and he's thriving off that. Maybe some narcissism to his game, but this is what he likes. Go back to when he was looking for an extension from the 49ers. He was looking for attention then. Granted, it's not to the degree he's doing now, how prevalent, how strong the quality of his spamming, his attention is looking, but he's done it before. When he set up that stage video with Jaden Daniels, when he's gone, where he's doing interviews with the pivot, and then even when he did sign the extension finally, shortly after, like days later, practice, he shows up to practice in the wrong color shorts when he knows when the color shorts are, and then he takes them off in front of the whole media so they could see. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and if he doesn't, then my God, he is completely naive. He's completely lost, and that's, I mean, and that's understandable too. I mean, that's definitely a passable perspective because look what he's doing. Nothing he's doing is helping him, and now he's closer to being done in the NFL than staying in it. Everything's wrong with what he's doing. Everything's wrong. You know, and so now I'm at the point where I actually feel more validated that the 49ers should release him now because now I want to see, hey, Brandon, let's see if actually the Commanders are going to sign you. Let's see if someone else even has interest in you. Not just signs you, interest. Because clearly you're going to come at a cheap price. It already was going to come to the case because no one knows how you look after a torn ACL and MCL. And then you goes to the 49ers. So that already was like a questionable red flag. But now you're actually showing your weirdness and negativity through social media. And maybe that stops. But maybe it doesn't. It's a roll of the dice that team's going to figure out that, like, hey, like, if we give this guy $1.5 million with up to $10 million he can earn in incentives, do games active, do stats produced, is this worth it that he can cause a ruckus on social media, on the field, in the locker room? That's something teams got to weigh. And if you're the Commanders, it's like this guy's going with a weird banter back and forth with our starting quarterback, our potential franchise quarterback for years to come. I don't think that's gonna fly. And this subject is wearing down. It's wearing me down. Like, and the fear of the 49ers, obviously there's no skin off their bones. They can keep him until forever they want because Brandon Aiyuk hasn't done anything. He hasn't filed his paperwork for reinstatement. He's not going to show up. He's already said it on social media, I'm never going back to that facility again. So he's a guy where you can't take him seriously. You just can't. I've got a better chance of showing up to the 49ers facility and practicing. That's how much the likelihood it shows. So this is something it's not going to go away still for probably until all season. And training camp starts in the next couple weeks. You already know the questions are going to be asked to Kyle Shanahan and several teammates. How's that going to work out? I'm sure they're just going to say, like, yeah, we don't know. Just Brandon's, whatever. I'm focused on the team now. So it's going to be the typical routine thing. Anyone can anticipate what Shanahan and the players are going to say. I just think, like, if 49ers, just cut bait with him then so you don't have to keep answering those questions because every time he does a video, like, it's not going to derail you by any means, but it's just going to be like, why are we still talking about this? You guys know what my answer is going to be if you're Kyle Shanahan. Like, Jose, why are you asking me this question, bro? Why are you asking me this question? It's like, sorry, Kyle, I got to ask it because as much as this annoys me and it's annoying a lot of fans or it's laughable, like, it's an attention. It's working. People are talking about it, and that's all that matters. And so until they dissociate with him, like officially by getting him off the roster, this is gonna be a thing. But for Aiyuk's side, he's definitely fumbled like crazy, and it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't play in the NFL again. And you get to a point where even the 49ers can recoup more money from him, reportedly. Rough start. Rough way to really go teams into wanting you, Brandon. You really messed this up. You could have easily just put yourself in a right position, tell your side, work out videos. He could have even done just one trash video where he trashes the 49ers, and that wouldn't have been that bad. But the fact he just does this is weird, and now it's like, yeah, man, we can't take you seriously. This is why you draw these parallels, these similarities to Antonio Brown, even though they're not even remotely close. But in terms of the weirdness, the social media, like, come on, bro, are you serious? I can understand it, but Brandon, everything's wrong with what you're going about this. Another thing to talk about, and I didn't even know this, I thought it was already a thing, that the 49ers finally signed one of their, I think last of the rookies in their draft, this year's 2026 draft class. This rookie has the potential to be their most impactful of their class, and it's defensive end pass rusher Romello Height. Good that's get squared away. You know, the rookies got to report, I believe, almost a week before the veterans do, so they'll have a few practice reps sessions under their belt before everyone else comes, so that's good. It's good to get that squared away because, again, you don't want that to be a distraction. I believe Alfred Collins had this issue with the 49ers last year, so there's always that one rookie that does it. It's always weird, but as long as you have him out there, who cares now? It's good, but it's good to have him out there. And it's a good time to highlight him as a player that, like I said, he has the potential to be the most impactful player from this year's rookie draft class. Let's not underestimate like how seriously bad their pass rushing was last year. Obviously, Nick Bosa got hurt, and they didn't have a Robin to his Batman, and that really. Well, Bryce Huff was supposed to be that, but obviously once you take the lead character away, the supporting cast can't carry it. And that was the 49ers last year. You end up having the worst sack output in the league with 20 sacks. I think they had the fourth least pressures generated. It was ugly. It was terrible. So when Bosa comes back, assuming he does come to the same level, and I have no reason to doubt about it because it's a third time torn ACL. I don't think he's going to really change that much. Might take some time to really get his legs under him, but Height has a chance, even though he's just a pass rushing specialist, to be that spark for them. You know, he knows how to be the complementary piece on the other side of a pass rusher. He did that last year at Texas Tech. He has a chance to do that with Nick Bosa. And now that the 49ers have someone in the central, in the interior, in Osa Odighizuwa, who's a monster, that's going to make him get lesser matchups and be less of a focus for offenses. You know, and that's the thing about pass rushing specialists. You may think, like, how the hell is a guy who's only going to get 15 to 20 reps a game, snaps a game, going to actually make much of an impact? Well, you know what? Pass rushing, even if he just does 3 to 4 impactful pass rushing snaps a game where he rushes, hits, sacks the quarterback, causes a turnover, has a pressure that leads to a turnover, and not just one where he does a strip sack, that's a hell of a job. It's going to be more impactful than what Deshaun Stribling's going to do. I mean, what are the odds he actually becomes like a focal point in the offense consistently when he has Mike Evans, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle eventually, Ricky Pearsall, and a slew of other veterans? Highly unlikely. He's probably going to get 25, 30 catches this year. Whereas if you're Romello Height and you generate 5 sacks and a couple of them lead to turnovers or several turnovers in terms of indirect pressures, that's huge. That's huge because a lot of things, especially depending on if some of them are leading to icers, you know, that clinches the game. Romello Height has the best chance to be the most impactful rookie of any rookie in the 49ers this year. I'm very excited for him. I know his age is detracting, but if anything, that's a bigger reason why he can be the guy that hits the ground running because he is experienced, he is older, he is mature, he understands. He's been in that situation where he's been complimentary, and I think he's going to do a hell of a job at it. You know, I mean, obviously you would want better options out there, like a Max Crosby, of course, but the 49ers aren't going to do that. that's not going to get talked about or actual become feasible until the mid-season time when the trade deadline comes. So for him, you have an opportunity of a lifetime right now, bud. Huge, huge opportunity ahead of you to really stake your claim and be like, I'm that guy. Because he does have some D Ford similarities a little bit. His speed, finesse rush. He's not going to be, that pure power guy. He doesn't have a bunch of tools in his game, so hopefully the 49ers can get that out of him. Out of OTAs, they've talked a lot about him, and his defensive line coach, Chris Kasarik, is really happy to see how well he's performing. So if he could pick that up, take that to training camp, and when the pads come on and really put it together when preseason comes, then 49ers might have something. Maybe he doesn't flash in the first game, 2 or 3, but like give him until like week 5. And if he is making that splash and all of a sudden he's hitting and rolling, then by playoff time, my goodness, watch out. He's going to be a key rotational player where he's impactful enough where the 49ers can know, like, if it's 3rd and 8, if Bosa's not going to get there, Romello will probably get there. So he has the best chance because that pass rushing specialist aspect is so crucial. Chance to create turnovers, get people off the field, and be clutch in the end. So great job to get this squared away with his contracts. Not like there was ever a doubt, but it's just a good point to show like how important of a figure he can be out of all the rookies for the 49ers this year.